Good evening, and welcome to the first Pharmacy Technician Pinning Ceremony here at PVCC. My name is Crystal Green, and I'm the Program Director of the Pharmacy Technician Program. Thank you all for being here and supporting our first graduating class of the Pharmacy Technician Program. You are all now the official class of 2016 for the Pharmacy Technician Program. I would like to introduce our platform guests. We have Dr. John Donnelly, who is the Vice President of Instruction and Student Services, Dr. Jean Chappelle, the Dean of Health and Life Sciences, Dr. Raphael Sines, the Pharmacy Administrator at UVA and our guest speaker for the evening, and Ms. Ann Vanacek, who's the Clinical Compliance Coordinator. We will now have welcoming remarks from Dr. John Donnelly and Dr. Jean Chappelle.
Thank you, Crystal. Welcome, everyone. Good evening, graduates. As the Chief Academic and Student Affairs Officer here at Piedmont Virginia Community College, I bring you greetings from the faculty and the staff here at the college. Greetings and congratulations. And I also want to offer my personal congratulations to each of you on this most exciting of occasions. The pinning ceremony tonight is symbolic of your entry into the profession, but it's also a celebration that you achieved your goal of becoming a pharmacy technician. Today you're going to receive your pin, which symbolizes your entry into the profession. And an event like this is often called a graduation ceremony or a commencement ceremony. And I want to focus in on the commencement piece of this. So let's talk about the term commencement and what it signifies. The definition of commencement is a time when something begins. But those of you sitting to my left now are probably saying, thank God it's ended. But while you may think it has ended, it actually is the beginning of something new and exciting for you. And I'll give you a few examples. I expect that there were many of you on the stage who had days where you were exhausted, you were stressed, you were worried, upset, hysterical, maybe, manic, angry, frustrated. I can go on and on and on. But those days are now history. So that's new for you. The new beginning here is that you're a professional in your field now. You're going to have a different set of deadlines, of expectations and stresses, but these are all things that will make you excellent practitioners in the field. Much is expected of you, and I have no doubt that all of you will rise to meet those expectations because you've been very well prepared to do so. Secondly, you have seen your fellow students at their worst and at their best, and they have seen you at your best and worst. And the new beginning here is that you're going to go your separate ways. You're going to start that perfect job. You're going to enroll in that advanced training or education program. Some of you will leave the area. Some of you will get married. Some of you will have kids. You're not going to see or talk to your colleagues and your friends as much as you did during your time here at PVCC. Those ties that bind or that bound will loosen. Yet one thing that will connect you to each other is your experience here in this program. Don't forget to keep in touch with each other. And finally, you'll soon have a certificate in pharmacy as a pharmacy technician, and you'll soon be licensed if you're not licensed already. You are now at a place where your experience and your credential will make you very valuable in the marketplace. Take advantage of that. You have gained skills and credentials that most people don't have. Use those to your advantage. Get the position that you think you can't get, or apply to that advanced educational program you think you can't get into. The knowledge, skills, and abilities you learned in this program will take you farther than you might think. In closing, I hope that your time here at PVCC has been a positive and fruitful one. I hope that you will keep a bit of PVCC with you. The pen you'll receive tonight on that table will be a constant reminder of your time here. I hope you'll come back and let us know how you're doing. I hope you'll come back and consider giving money when you become rich and famous. And I hope you'll even think about coming back and maybe teaching for us or supervising a clinical experience when future students come through our program. Finally, congratulations, you did it, you're finished, and I bet it feels really good. It's my wish for you now that you enjoy some time for yourself, time with friends, time with family, or just time to do absolutely nothing. You certainly deserve it. Congratulations, and good luck.
Good evening. On behalf of the faculty and staff of Piedmont Virginia Community College, I too would like to welcome you to the pinning ceremony for our first pharmacy technician program. Super exciting, and on many levels it is a remarkable achievement, not just for the students but also for the college, which because this program was built with such community support. First, I would like to take a moment to thank Crystal, there she is, Crystal, for all of her work in making this happen, for the faculty and the clinical faculty on the field that also was there to help as well. One thing about programs like this and all the allied health programs is you can't make it through alone. It's a tough program. All the programs are tough. And as Dr. Donnelly said, there are some days when you just think you can't make it anymore. But working as a cohort and having a new family, if you will, of individuals to help support you during that time is so important. And I can say honestly that after 20-something years, I am still in contact with those individuals that I went to school with. We Facebook, we meet in the summer as we travel from place to place or at conferences. So you won't lose track. You really won't, because this time in your life, although eventful, is one you will never, ever forget. I'd also like to take a moment for the graduates to recognize their family and friends and supporters that helped them through this tough time, because you all are just as important as those individuals on the stage in helping each of those graduates be successful. So I think you deserve a round of applause. And thank you. As Dr. Donnelly said, today marks the end of a journey but the beginning of a new one. For some of the journey seems no more than the blink of an eye, and for others it might seem a little longer. But like any good journey, any good road trip, it's filled with challenges and good times. And as I said, those times of struggle were not those that you experienced alone. And the important thing is you came through as successful. And there's a lot has been said about the word success and what success means, but my favorite quote comes from Albert Einstein, who said, "Try not to become a person of success, but try to become a person of value." The quote doesn't say try to have a profession of value. It says be a person of value. The key component of success is finding a sense of worth in what you do by giving back, by reaching out and helping others. The talents and skills that you've learned in the pharmacy technician program forged a professional that is confident, strong, and ready to face the world. These same talents and skills are of tremendous value, not monetarily, but the value that they have in changing the lives of others. You're part now of a healthcare team. And after so many years, I also think of myself as that team, as part of that team. And that really means something. It means something to others, even if they're not in your profession. It means something to the nurses, the doctors, the medical technologists. Being part of that team means that we have others that we can rely on for expertise that's not our own. We have other content experts. There is an African saying, and it goes something like this: many little people in many small places undertaking many modest actions can transform the world. There are nearly 400,000 pharmacy technicians in this country, and that's part of tens of millions of health occupation professionals. Imagine if all the healthcare workers joined together to create a healing environment for their patients. If you, along with each of the other thousands in our community, contribute one small change, working together to create a healthy community for each of us to live and love and grow, what awesome power that is. And you now have that power. You have the power to change lives. So as you take the next step of your journey, whether it's the workplace or furthering your education, remember that you are blessed with family and friends to support you along the way, the excellence of your education, and the profession that holds these elements strong. Each of you have the unique opportunity to make great things happen in our very own community, if not the world, at least in our community. Get involved, give back, and be that catalyst for change. Congratulations on the end of your journey and the beginning of your new one. And thank you, most of all, for choosing PVCC to be part of that journey. Thank you.
We will now have our student speaker, Ms. Robin Ford.
I could go back and reminisce about the last year. Instead, I think it's more important to focus on where we'll be in the years ahead. Tonight means different things for each of us. To some, it comes as a welcome of relief. To others, it's accompanied with a feeling of nostalgia as we look back on the good and hard times with the many friends we've made. We look to the future with anticipation and perhaps some apprehension. To everyone who touched our lives, we say thank you. To the parents who stood by us no matter what. To friends who were there for the pizza parties, study sessions, and everything in between. To our wonderful instructor, Ms. Green, for putting up with our constant whining. To the staff of the University of Virginia for guiding us to new prospects. And to all others we depend on. Without you, without each other, we wouldn't be standing here today. Leaving today will be a time of emotions as we're excited of what lies ahead. It is not easy to say goodbye to common faces from the past year. And perhaps walking through the doors of our next adventure, we'll realize how the roots and strength of those around us helped us here. I am so proud of my classmates and new lifelong friends. To the next chapter.
Thank you, Ms. Ford. All right, so our keynote speaker this evening is Dr. Raphael Sines. Dr. Sines is the pharmacy administrator at UVA Medical Center. He received his PharmD degree from NCV VCU School of Pharmacy and his Master's of Science in Health System Pharmacy Administration from the University of Wisconsin, while completing the combined residency master's degree program in Health System Pharmacy Administration from the University of Wisconsin Hospitals and Clinics. Prior to coming to UVA, Dr. Sines was responsible for building clinical pharmacist practice models in the US and Europe, combined master's degree residency programs in hospital and community pharmacy settings, advanced technician practice models, and ensuring compliance with national and international regulation, safety, and quality agencies. Dr. Sines has served as operations manager for the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center Presbyterian Hospital and as executive director of pharmacy services for UPMC's International and Commercial Services Division. When I first met Dr. Sines, I could feel his excitement for the pharmacy technician program. The excitement grew as he gave me a tour of the whole UVA hospital and showed me the various locations where pharmacy operations took place. On this day, I did not have on my walking shoes, but I smiled and could feel the excitement and envisioned the experience the students would have at UVA. Over the course of this year, Dr. Sines has provided encouragement and shared his passion and appreciation for the work of pharmacy technicians, and also shared that with our students when he came to speak. We are happy that his schedule allowed for him to be here this evening, and I'm honored that he graciously accepted the invitation to address the class of 2016, their family, and friends. So if you would join me in welcoming Dr. Sines.
Hi, I can assure you that the honor is all mine. Congratulations. This is awesome, right? Feels great. And Crystal, I knew you didn't have walking shoes on that day, and it's also how I knew that we chose the right person. I'm just going to tell you a story, and the message to my story, I'm going to look to you because I'm here for you, is that from this day forward, I want you to do your job with passion. You have to have passion in this role. I have passion for this role, and I'm not a technician anymore, but I have passion for technicianship. And I'll explain to you how I came across that passion. In 1994, I was like young, I was really young back then. Looked the same though, just, I walked into a hospital. This is back when you could just walk in a hospital and ask for an application. And I said, I'd like to be a pharmacist one day. Can I be a technician for you all? I'd like to see what it is that pharmacists do. And they were like, sure, come on in, sign up for the application. I got the job because I knew about a friend of mine worked in the department. So they trained me minimally. I was in the IV room within a couple of weeks. So those of you who have gone through my department know that that is not possible anymore. And I remember being in the hood and compounding something. I believe it was a controlled substance. It was a PCA. And I remember setting the vial and the syringe down. And then I remember that the bag of medication walked out of the pharmacy. The pharmacist came and looked at the vial, looked at the syringe, and said, what is this? And I said, I made the PCA. This is the dose that I used. And she said, oh my gosh, it is all wrong. This lady's face was whiter than the sheet. And she dropped the vial and she ran out the door. And at that moment that she got up to the unit, the nurse had already spiked the bag and was about to inject that medication into the patient's veins. It was then that I realized that I could have benefited from more training. I then, fast forward a few years, I found myself in Fairfax, Virginia as a pharmacy intern after being accepted to pharmacy school, working for a chain of drugstores. And I recall being the intern there, operating as a technician, that you have in a retail setting, a completely different environment. For those of you who worked at our Behringer pharmacy or went through retail sites, understand the busyness of a retail facility. There was no time to think. It was one prescription after another, and mistakes happen. And I recall, if you all know the Fairfax County area, there's a lot of well-known politicians, well-known national figures. One of them came in and essentially threw a bottle of medications at my pharmacist and said, what is this? Are you trying to kill me? And it turns out it was a prescription that I believe I had filled. Same drug, different strength. So we teach you the value of look alike and sound alike. I'm telling you these stories because I've lived in the world that you're about to enter. And I can say very, very confidently that pharmacy technicians are the backbone of pharmacy. Okay? There's a reason why we reached out to PVCC. There's a reason why we want to do these types of programs. And there's a reason why I refuse to accept just any technician. There needs to be a higher level of competency. There needs to be a higher level of education and training behind the people that handle your medications. One of these days, myself, my family members, or anybody in this room is going to end up at UVA hospital. And you want to make sure that the person handling your medications is properly trained and is competent to do the job. We were not finding that. So PVCC has helped us increase the level of quality and overall safety for our patients in Central Virginia and soon the Commonwealth. The community college system in Virginia is ripe for these types of opportunities, and I implore to Dr. Donnelly, if you have the ability to do so, to promulgate these programs so that more citizens of the Commonwealth can benefit from the safety and quality that our technicians will provide. At UPMC, I created a technician training program that was hospital-based. And I remember, just by chance, I took the students, and I had around 10 students, up to the unit to see a patient, and they witnessed firsthand the adverse effects of medications on a patient who had developed a rash. And it wasn't just any rash, it was a pretty severe rash, and there was a sloughing of skin cells. And I remember the looks on their faces and them putting together the fact that what they do directly affects somebody, but not just anybody, somebody who's vulnerable, somebody who is in need of care. Our mission at UVA is to become the safest place to receive care anywhere, and you are part of that mission. I took an oath as a pharmacist to ensure public safety, and as a member of the Virginia Board of Pharmacy, I can essentially guide the profession to make sure that we look after the public and the public safety. You are part of that. A lot of what I discuss at the Board of Pharmacy has to do with technicians and the increasing scrutiny around technician training. This has to be the standard going forward. And then finally at UVA, what you're going to be entrusted to do is primarily focus on patient safety and patient quality, and we're going to do that through a variety of different manners. You will be technicians who will handle our medications and assist our pharmacists and be our pharmacist's right hand. Several of you will be involved with more direct patient care in terms of procuring medication histories from our admitted patients. And then the possibilities for you is limitless. It's up to us as to how we want to utilize you to further expand the reach of pharmacy at UVA. And I have big plans. Lastly, I do want to spend some time talking about Crystal, because none of this could have been possible without Crystal. And what has it been now, 2 years-ish? Year and a half? Wow. We came to PVCC with an idea, and that idea was to create this accredited technician training program. At the time, there weren't any in the Commonwealth. And so now we're going to be among the first. And we didn't want to just create a Me Too program. We wanted to create something that was going to be lasting and something that we could all be proud of. Crystal was absolutely the right person for this role, and I thank her from the bottom of my heart, and you've just done a phenomenal job, and I thank you so much. Lastly, I just want to say that and reiterate, you are the future of pharmacy. The technician roles across the country are only going to become more and more involved with direct patient care. You are now properly trained and probably among the best in the Commonwealth, and you will be there to help us get the profession to the next level. I also want to address a few comments that Dr. Donnelly made. I too hope that you will take students on rotation and pass it forward. Okay? I also want to encourage you to become involved in professional societies as much as you can. Your involvement in professional organizations for technicians and pharmacists in Virginia is the rent you pay for the space you take up in the profession. And the other thing Dr. Donnelly said is you can now do nothing if you want to, but if you work for me, that's not an option. So thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Sines, for addressing our class. Before I address the graduating class, who I hold near and dear to my heart, one, because you are the first class of the pharmacy technician program here at PVCC. I commute from Richmond to come here, which is fine until the springtime when we're meeting 4 days a week. It gets a little daunting. But I could not have asked for a better group of students to embark on this new journey. The pressure somewhat, not necessarily pressure, but the assignment to create a program for this community is somewhat of a big assignment. And with any big assignment, sometimes you doubt whether or not you have what it takes, if you can produce great professionals. And before I get to my speech, I can say that you all are great professionals. I hope that I have mimicked for you a good work ethic, professionalism, and I always talk about patient-centered care, because you never know who you are preparing medications for, but you always want to prepare it for if it's your mother, your father, your son, your daughter, or a good friend. I would like to thank UVA for giving the opportunity to the pharmacy technician students. They were able to do a 10-week rotation where they split 5 weeks in outpatient and 5 weeks in inpatient. And before the students went out on their rotation experience, I told them that I was excited for them, but kind of jealous, because UVA offers a unique experience to expose technicians to different responsibilities and roles that aren't found in other hospitals, and I can say that from experience working in Richmond, Virginia. So without them, I think you all would not have had such a great rotation experience. They were excited to have you all there. They were welcoming, and I feel that they gave you, or they treated you as if you were already an employee. So the experience that you have, I hope you see how valuable it is and how priceless it is, because I can tell you from having the program in Richmond, the students there did not have the same experience, nowhere near the experience that you had. So thank you, UVA, for opening up your doors and your pharmacy to the technician program here. On Tuesday, August 25th, 2015, was our very first class together, which was filled with complete silence. It wasn't until maybe midway through the spring semester that they would actually talk back to me if I did not ask them a question. I encourage you all to talk and get to know one another, and you all did that after the first semester. Despite the bond that was beginning to form, most days I was still greeted with silence. And I asked, or I would say, crickets. I may get a smirk or a little smile from them, but it was somewhat to break the ice. I enjoy an engaging classroom atmosphere because, one, students don't realize that regardless of whether they're inpatient or outpatient, at some point or another in their journey, they will have to communicate with someone outside of the pharmacy. Throughout our time together, I told you that you were not on this journey alone. So we have arrived to the pinning ceremony together. It is my nature to provide you with what you need to be successful. You all have made it, so we are at the point of success. Just the tip. Over the last 3 semesters, we have worked together, we have laughed together, and perhaps shed a tear. You all studied together for pharmacology and quizzed each other for lab checkoffs. We laughed together when someone made up their own meaning to a SIG code, PA. We also laughed when someone blamed their cell phone for not catching up with daylight savings time and was late for a checkoff appointment. We have had numerous conversations about my love for Coca-Cola and who has the best and strongest. You all often try to get me off topic, asking me about Mina, my dog, and to see pictures of her. Tears may have been shed out of frustration, but at the end of it all, you are sitting here this evening as students who have completed a journey that you began almost a year ago. You all are a special group. One, because you are the first group to complete this program, so you are setting the tone for those that follow. You are special because you are welcoming to me, as I am not a native of this area. You all were patient with me on the days that technology just did not want to be my friend, and there were many. Thank you, Ms. Richardson, for stepping up and helping when you could see that I had no clue how to fix the problem or even what the problem was. You all you're special because you've worked together, you've worked hard, and you did not quit. I could not have asked for a better class to start this program with at PVCC. You all have shown dedication and pride in this program and you will also be a hard act to follow. It is hard to imagine that I will not see you all on August 22nd when the fall semester begins. Words cannot express how proud I am of each and every one of you. I encourage you to follow your dreams, to thrive as pharmacy technicians, and remember to always have patient-centered care. The pins that you all are receiving tonight are a symbol of how hard you have worked, the hours that you put in to complete the clinical rotation, and also having to be there at 6:30 a.m. on some of them. The time sacrificed to study, the time sacrificed to spend with family and friends, the time management it took to come to class and work a full-time or part-time job, and even if you were a stay-at-home mom, that still worked too. You all are at the point of completion. Congratulations on this achievement, and just because you have completed this program, it does not mean that you can kick me out of your corner. I will always be a phone call, a text message, or an email away. And you know, from the day one, I've always told you that I'm gonna be here for you, and I sincerely mean it, so congratulations again.
Nancy Camacho. To my friends and family who have supported me along the way and inspired me to keep going even when things seemed uncertain. Special thanks to my twin sister and the amazing people I work with. I appreciate everything you do. Robin Ford. To my parents for raising me to believe I could be anything I put my mind to, thank you for your selfless affection and support. Without you, success would not have come so humble. To my future husband, Andy, thank you for listening without interrupting, encouraging my mindless ranting, and being utterly supportive. Your patience, friendship, and kindness is something I will always cherish. To the next chapter with you. To my dear friends, Katie, Michaela, and Ashton, thank you for your constant love and much-needed girl nights. I am so proud to have grown up with you all over the past years. To many more. Leslie Grubbs. My beloved family, I don't know about you, but I wasn't sure this day was ever going to come. All I've ever wanted was to make you all proud. Your endless assurance and help is what has gotten me here. Thank you. Rachel Hicks. I would like to thank my parents and boyfriend for their constant support, but most of all, I would like to thank my sister Courtney. You are the most creative, intelligent, and strong-willed person I know. If there is anyone in this world that I hope I have made proud, it's you. So thank you for giving me the motivation to become a proud pharmacy technician. Emily Pascua. Would like to thank her husband, children, and family for their unwavering support and encouragement. Altogether, they have made this both a possibility and a reality. She would also like to thank her instructor, classmates, and of course, UVA, as they have all made this an amazingly fun, memorable, and valuable experience. Elizabeth Richardson. None of the things I have accomplished in my life, including today, would be possible without the unfailing love and support of my husband and parents, the three people who have always believed in me, even when I did not believe in myself. I want to thank my children for being so understanding during this very busy time in our lives, from school to buying a new house to finally getting a babysitter. I think it has been hard, but I want you to know that Mommy does everything in this life for you. I want to thank Ms. Green for always being available to help us and for being a great teacher and friend. Last but not least, I want to thank my fellow classmates. What started as a group of 9 strangers has turned into a group of 9 friends, friendships that I hope to have the rest of my life. I could have not done this program without the support they showed me, from cram study sessions in the lobby to Facebook chats reassuring each other about our futures. I hope we never stop being there for each other. Harry Shiflett. I would like to thank my family for all of their support and encouragement through the last few months while in school, especially the last 10 weeks during my clinical rotation at UVA. I would also like to thank Ms. Green and everyone else in the Pharmacy Tech program. I could not have made it this far without you. April Smith. I would like to thank my family and friends for their support and encouragement. Without your support, I wouldn't be where I am now. Alex Wolfenbarger. To my mother, my father, my sisters, and Grams, I made it this far because of you. I hope to continue making you proud.
I do have a few awards that I would like to give out to the students. But before I give these awards, I would like for the audience to know, to date, 7 of these students have sat for the certification exam, and to date, all 7 have passed. So we have 2 more students that still have dates to take the exam, and I'm confident in their ability to pass the exam as well. I was on pins and needles waiting to hear whether or not they passed or not, because it's an exam that has randomized questions, so each day I was kind of like, please let them pass, please let them pass. But it does show that their time studying was not in vain, that they were successful, and I'm sure a breath of relief once they got the paper that said passed. So congratulations to those that have sat, and for those that still are about to sit, please use me as a resource. Let's practice to ensure that you will be among your classmates that now have the credentials CPHT that they can put behind their names. All right, so the first award that I would like to give is for maintaining a 4.0 GPA throughout all 3 semesters. I let the students know that I never asked them more of them than what I haven't done myself, so I know how hard it is to work. To be a student, the only thing I have not done is raise a child. So to maintain a 4.0 through traveling to school, through managing, working outside of school and studying, I think it's a great achievement. So the first award goes to Miss Nancy Camacho. The next one goes to Mr. Harry Shiflett. And the last one is to Mr. Alex Wolfenbarger. The next round of awards are for perfect attendance, and I was asked that I want to give this award because students should come to school. And yes, you should. However, again, knowing what it is to be a student, there are mornings where you don't want to get up, or there are some life challenges that we may have that keep us in the bed, or inclement weather that keeps us at home. I did have one student that was traveling just about as far, if not a little farther than I, to come to class, and that's a lot to travel about an hour and 30 minutes to come to class 2 days a week or 4 days a week and not miss a day. And I believe had transportation issues and still found a way. So yes, it is important. Yes, we should come to school, but when we overcome obstacles, I think it is an opportunity to shed light on that it's not an easy task. So the first one is to Miss Nancy Camacho. Miss Rachel Hicks. And Mr. Harry Shiflett. The last award that I would like to give is an award for dedication. It's not easy being a mother, coming to school, studying, making good grades. This student is the definition of dedication. Miss Elizabeth Richardson gave birth to a very beautiful little girl on Friday. I don't remember the day, I'm sorry, poor instructor, I know. It would be bad if I didn't. But she showed up for her clinical rotation that following Monday. She wanted to make sure that she was not missing out on the experience. She wanted to make sure that she completed her hours and finished where she needed to finish. And if that's not dedication, I don't know what is. So, Ms. Richardson, I would like to present you with this award for dedication. Thank you all for coming for etching time out of your schedule to come to this pinning ceremony. I don't know if you all have ventured out on education, but trying something new is always a difficult task. And then sometimes students don't know what to do once they've completed that task. And oftentimes my experience has been that students are sometimes afraid of achieving their goals, and somewhere along the lines they quit, they stop going, they put it off, or they put it on the back burner. But these 9 students have stuck in it with me, being an instructor, kind of laughing at my jokes sometimes, or just engaging with me. But I want to make sure that I've provided them with what their expectations were of the program, out of the program, and I hope that I've met that expectation for you guys. And like I said, you cannot kick me out of your corner. I will check on you from time to time, see how things are going. I hope that I will see your faces when I visit UVA with the new group of students. Thank you for allowing me to be your instructor. Thank you for, listening to me and trusting in me to give you the skills to be a professional, to be a pharmacy technician, and then just to be a good person. Continue to strive for your dreams. Don't forget to challenge yourself. I know some of you all have endeavors of going on for other educational journeys. I encourage you to do so, and if I can help you any way along the way, please do not hesitate to contact me. And you all know that I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Whatever I can do, just make sure you call me if you're not gonna come. That's it. But thank you for being a great first class. Thank you all for coming to support the class of 2016, for completing the first pharmacy technician program here at Piedmont Virginia Community College.
So, Miss Green was very nervous to be our teacher. We were very nervous to be her students. So we were crickets and we didn't talk a lot, but between Alex's funny SIG code abbreviations and stories of my children's antics, I think we all warmed up really well, and we wanted to give you a gift to tell you how much we love you and how much you are appreciated by us. Thank you. It's heavy. It's heavy.
Okay. 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 I guess I can put it on the table. So that is the conclusion of our pinning ceremony. There are refreshments. I don't know what the area is called. I'm sorry. The Dickinson Commons. If you go out up here on the up here, and it's behind us where we are now. My sense of direction is terrible. But again, thank you so much for being here. I'm sure your support means a lot to our graduating class. And informally, it's very nice to meet you guys.